Let me do Drew real quick. When I first saw you, I already knew. So, I sounded good though, okay? Let the record show that I sounded good on the intro. Welcome back to That Damn Dash, you guys. You may be wondering why it looks a little bit different. Well, this is my new white wall. And I am dressed like a Sephora employee because I'm about to sell you this good makeup. No, I'm not even gonna put that out there. This is all my skin. This is the glow from exfoliation, okay? And good skincare. But I've taken a break from the greenery wall because, and I'm dressed this way because I was taking a passport photo. So I figured might as well just, continue the look or whatever. But I'll probably be back to normal for my next review. Anywho, guys, we are back with season 13, episode 12 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I still cannot believe I've done 12 of these videos. Front page news. And so if you guys have your notes, I have mine. Let's get on into it. So Drew is singing at Cynthia's wedding. Just as you heard me, she's supposed to be doing Angel of Mine. The whole gag of this whole situation is how shady Mike was in the scene, right? Drew came over to the house and they were just chopping it up, talking and stuff. And Cynthia was like, baby, you know that, Drew's going to be singing. She's going to be singing Angel of Mine. You like that song, right? And he was like, I do. And then under his breath, when Monica sings it, that's the gag of the whole situation, the shade of it all. Let me tell you, I don't know Drew for singing. I know Drew for acting. I thought that she was playing like a singer, but come to find out, she does some singing on the side. I have seen nary a Drew play. I cannot verify her singing talent. All I really know her singing talent is from The Game. If y'all remember, she was on there, playing herself, and she had a song called Slow It Down. I think so. I went, slow it down. So I'm going to need you to slow it down and roll it back if you can't really sing, Drew, because the worst thing to do is to hype yourself up as this, professional singer, and you over here, rolling your R's and doing all of that to let people down, okay? I remember I do a little bit of singing on the side, so if I sound good, I have the elements, okay, of a good lounge singer, but I ain't like big time or whatever. But I do remember that when I sang at my friend's brother's wedding, I didn't tell anybody I was singing nothing. Oh, no, because first off, you wasn't going to do me. I told myself, I had a conversation with myself. I said self, myself said ho. Or myself said, hey, but I had a past. Anywho, I was talking to myself and I said that if I were to sing at this and it went well, then I would like it to be a surprise that, oh my goodness, he sang and it sounded really, really well. Maybe I'll book him for something else. And then I figured, if it was bad, then at least only the people at the wedding would know. And I would make sure that, any copies of that video never saw the light of day outside of that wedding. So, I'm not shading Drew. I hope she can sing with all the she was doing. I'm hoping that, she got some vocals behind it. But girl, don't set yourself up for failure. Moving on, Kenya gets advice from her dad on marriage. This was really, really great. I think that everyone really seems to be saying some iteration of the same thing with Kenya and Mark and their whole situation. But hopefully Kenya takes it more to heart when it's coming from her father, just saying that, this man seems to have some real animosity towards you and people don't really treat you like this if they love you. It's not this big tit for tat type thing. So, like I said, I hope she takes it to heart and I hope some of it resonates with her. And I'm glad she's getting help, from her dad. And later on, we see that she goes to therapy. Kenya and Drew go to dinner. I don't even know how y'all thought this was supposed to go well. Kenya is like me in certain conflicts with people that I feel have wronged me in the past. And I'm not saying Drew wronged her by speaking her mind. I'm just saying Kenya's perception of the whole thing is that Drew is coming for her in some way, right? And so when I say she's like me, we are deers, okay? And what a deer does is, the minute danger comes, a deer, has his head up, and we looking around, okay? And then we just trot the hell on off, We don't leave time for nonsense and all that other foolery, okay? We don't have time for it. So Kenya sat down at that dinner on ready, And unfortunately, I just don't think that Drew thought her whole word choice out correctly. Because when you're trying to get on someone's good side, or maybe just have a conversation in general, there are certain words that you probably shouldn't use. You shouldn't really lead anything off, or it shouldn't be in the conversation that, the final straw was, okay, the final straw is going to always get somebody on the defense. So don't do that, because the minute you said that, Kenya's horns came out, okay, and then she was ready to come for you. Then when she walks up, in the beginning, you over here vocalizing again. Like I said earlier, I hope that you are not overselling this whole singing thing for you, but never have I ever been at dinner and I started to try to just vocalize and do some vocal exercises. I thought you was going to sing her a song, maybe, Sorry for 2004, bringing some, Ruben Studdard back in the thing, but I don't think Kenya was in the place to receive Drew, and I don't think that Drew was in the place to humble herself enough for Kenya's guard to go down. So that it was never going to go well. Moving on. Actually, no, before we move on from that one, I wrote this specifically down, okay? Kenya says at the dinner, broke bitches split checks, okay? And when you throw a rock in a group of dogs, the one that holla is the one that got hit. I'm sitting at home I split checks all the time. How is that broke? And so I put a comment out there or whatever, and people were like, it is broke. Me and my friends, we take turns. You shouldn't be thinking about the end of the dinner at the beginning of it, thinking that you're gonna split checks. It must be a generational thing. The older generation just believes in, whoever invited whoever to dinner splits the check or takes the whole check or whatever. And then the millennial generation, my generation, we split the check, or you pay it and I'll Venmo you something later. Drop down in the comments and let me know if, broke bitches really do just split checks. I don't know. Maybe I'm broke. Can we reframe it? Maybe I could be a cheap hoe, or a frugalista. I don't know. I don't need to be broke. I am not calling that over my life. Okay, Kenya? So we're going to have to disagree on that one. Cynthia talks about her wedding in terms of what can go wrong. Isn't that Murphy's Law? I think it's Murphy's Law. Somebody let me know if I got that right. But anything that can go wrong will. And from the beginning, the universe has been telling Cynthia that this date is not going to work. Things are not going to work. But, the same mindset could be said where you're saying all of these adversities that she's facing is because she needs to persevere through it so that she could really get to her date. I don't know. I'm just saying, if it's 3 days to the damn wedding and your mom dress don't fit, Noelle dress don't fit, something wrong with the band, this, that, and the third, I would delay it, but I know you already spent a whole bunch of money, so it has to happen anyway. And as we know, in real time, it already happened. So everything must have been okay in the end of it. So, well, good for you. I was like, do I have another point on this? Not really. Next, we're going on to Marlo's Harvest event. It was a really, really nice event. I think that people this year, in terms of the production team, are really trying to find inventive ways for the girls to get together and do things because of COVID and whatnot. So it was cute. Or whatever. I mean, it didn't really seem like they did many activities. Maybe they didn't just showcase a lot of the activities on TV or whatever. But it was nice. I think the whole main thing of that whole situation was who leaked the info to Page 6. Now, I have some theories of my own, okay? I don't think it was Porsha. Porsha don't want no more attention drawn to this than it already has been. I would say, if I were a betting man, I say LaToya leaked it, or Kenya by way of someone that she told, right? Because normally how stories get to Page 6 from watching the New York Housewives, New Jersey Housewives, all these things, is that if the person doesn't have a direct line to Page 6 already, they tell somebody, right? And then that person ends up going to Page 6. So then they have plausible deniability of, oh, I didn't say anything to Page 6. But you also don't divulge that you went to XYZ person and told them this, and then they ran to Page 6. So, by way of a proxy, yes, you went to Page 6, but on the surface of it, it looks like you didn't. So those are my picks. Hopefully we find out in the episode or later on in the season in terms of who actually leaked the info to Page 6. Cynthia starts talking about her prenup. Did y'all get into that Mama Joyce clip where she was talking about it was a flashback to Kandi and Todd's wedding, and she was like, you know, you could choke on a chicken bone, and then he gonna come down here telling me that Mama got to get out, okay? Like, I was like, some of my favorite scenes of this damn show are involving Mama Joyce. So I feel like that's a cautionary tale of it all. Cynthia's first wedding was just very I think it was at a museum, and they were like hemming and hawing about money back then. So you would think that, you know, with all the stuff she went through with Peter, from, you know, the initial problems with the wedding to the money troubles that he had in terms of opening up his bars to the money that she sued him for, you know, a couple months ago or whatever was in the news, that she was suing him for money that he owed her or whatever, that the first thing that she would do is tootsie roll on down to the damn lawyer's office and get that prenup settled. But as we know, Cynthia's going through a whole bunch of issues in terms of the wedding and things going wrong. So I did hear her mention that she just gonna do a post-nup. So girl, get on that post-nup and don't be no fool. Porsha drives to Narnia. I didn't really think that was much of an issue. Listen, I get lost with the GPS regularly. And speaking as someone who is just, you know, geographically challenged just in general, I can definitely understand how she drove an hour and a half pretty much out the way. Now, I'm a different type of person, because if I drive an hour and a half out the way, I'm going home, okay? I'm over you, I'm over this event, I'm over this drive, and I'm tired. But, you know, kudos to Porsha for sticking it out and coming to visit you know, the event, which was pretty much over at that point, and it was dark and in a field in the middle of nowhere. So glad y'all made it home safe. Hallelujah. And then really to the meat of this episode, Kenya goes to therapy. I did write down specifically one of the lines that I wanted to talk about, and it was, what we're dealing in our adult life are unresolved issues from way back that we haven't processed. I think that is so insightful and so real, and it really just speaks to the issues that Kenya's having in her life right now, just in relation to Mark and in relation to the men that she chooses. You know, they flashed back to Kenya's issues with her mom and just not being emotionally available. And so when you don't deal with that stuff, and don't get me wrong, you deal with it in a sense of that you get past it to a certain extent so that you can like live your life, right? Because if you didn't find a way to move past it, whether that means suppressing it or just ignoring it, you know, for lack of better terms, it tends to like show back up later, right? And so Kenya has picked historically through the show people that are not or people that we perceive to not be that into her, right? She's more into them than they are into her in terms of what we see on the screen. And so you can sort of port that over to emotional unavailability, which, I mean, from Walter to Matt to Mark, I mean, you could kind of argue that Matt was hyper emotional, because wasn't he the one that was breaking out her damn garage doors and, you know, messing with the house and stuff? But, you know, I guess lack of maturity is what we can attribute that to. But the unresolved issues with her mother, which I don't think she'll ever really get true resolve with, because in order to get resolved, you have to have someone that's willing to resolve things. And Kenya's mother has shown time and time again that she has no gall or no inkling to want to have that kind of relationship with Kenya. So I did think that maybe the baby would be a bridge to the whole situation, because I think she sent a card to Brooklyn at one time. But going back to the point of, you know, this whole thing that I've, you know, led down right now, is the lack of emotional availability that her mom has sort of translated in Kenya's life to the men that she chooses. And that's really evident with Mark. Going back to some of my earlier videos where I talked about how Mark must just be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because on TV and through the screen, how we perceive him is this cold person who really doesn't like Kenya, who tolerates her more than anything. But on the back end, he's this person that's, you know, super loving and just can't show his emotions because, you know, he's too worried about appearing as a man, or, you know, that he needs to be, you know, hard or whatever in social circumstances. I don't know, but I think if Kenya finds some really good tactics for how to move past the hurt that her mom gave her, maybe she'll choose better men in the future. And I really just hope that this whole chapter with her and Mark is done, because I think so many things have happened, and it just seems like a very, very toxic relationship just to see it through the screen. And sometimes you have to end something, level set, woo-saw, go to therapy, eat, pray, love, and then you'll be better for the next man, right? Once you do that inner work on yourself. So Kenya, I wish you the best of luck. Speaking as someone who's in therapy once a week for, months and years now, it's really great to get some outside perspectives on the troubles that you feel inside, because sometimes when you're so stuck in your head, you can't really make sense of what's going on in your life. Whereas someone who's objective can see it very, very plainly. Anywho, guys, if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Stereo at DatDamnDasher. And if you like this, this new white wall, or you prefer the greenery wall, please drop down in the comments and let me know. And maybe I'll do more videos with the white wall versus the green wall, and maybe I'll turn into like a beauty influencer and sell y'all some products. Would you buy products from me? So I am not trustworthy. I am. Anywho, guys, I will talk to you at the next review, or maybe a next news story. You guys seem to really like my take on Harry and Meghan, so maybe I'll do some more stuff like that. But anywho, guys, I will check in on you later, and until next time, my loves, deuces and bye.